Good morning. I got to share a really cool testimony of something that happened 2 days ago. So my nieces, Corinza and Brenley, and my baby brother Larry and his wife Tamara, they have moved to Alabama, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, which is 15 hours away, and it's in America, whole nother country. So anyways, it was pretty emotional, and the girls are sad because they're in high school and they're leaving all everything that they've ever known. Larry, he left his job after nearly 30 years, working at the same place, same people, 5-6 days a week. They become your family, right? So Tamara got an amazing opportunity to her job, so it was all work related, and so they had to move. So they sold their place here, and anyways, I wanted to write a letter to both my nieces to encourage them, so I spent nearly, it was well over an hour and a half carefully writing a letter to each of them. And then because they had such a long car trip, because they were driving down and they had the dogs, they've got 2 pups, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give them both a nice book to read. And right away I found a good book for Corinza called Do It Afraid by Joyce Meyer. And then for Brenley, I couldn't find the right book. It took me over half an hour of looking through, because she's 15, and I was like, what's gonna interest her? I don't know. So anyways, I went through, I'm not joking, I probably have about 350 books in my house. It's kind of a sickness. Anyways, I haven't read them all. I have good intentions, and I want to support amazing authors. Anyways, so I was going through trying to read the backs of these books, and what's going to be perfect for Brenley to read. And anyways, I finally decided this book. It's called When God Winks, and that book really inspired me when I read it. And so I was like, okay, that's the book for Brenley. So anyways, I had to go to the school to pick up my paycheck from the principal. The principal was sitting down, and I was going like this, trying to get my thumb and my finger was still kind of tingly and numb, because I had been writing for so long. Okay, writing the letter to Brenley and writing the letter to Corinza. So anyways, I'm going like this, getting the feeling in my fingers, while my principal, she's just talking, telling us about Christmas Day at her house, la 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 la. Anyways, she's like, oh, what's wrong with your hand? I said, oh, my family, my baby brother and his family, they're moving to Alabama, so I was writing letters to encourage my nieces, da 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 da. She's like, oh, and then I said, yeah, and then I was trying to find books for them to read on their car trip, and my youngest niece, I was having a hard time trying to find her book. It took me over half an hour, and I finally found this book. She goes, oh, what's it called? I said, oh, it's a book called When God Winks. She's like, what? Get out! I have that same book. It's in my shelf right now. I have it for a former student of mine. That's such a good book. And I said, oh, yeah? Who's the student? She goes, oh, this previous student, his name's Josiah Brownlee. I'm like, what? Get out! I'm going to their house right now. I've got their table and chairs in my car. I borrowed it from Paula Brownlee. And I gotta go bring that to them, and I have it in my car to go deliver it. Do you want me to go deliver the book? Because Josiah's there right now. He came back from university. He's home for 2 weeks. She's like, what? Get out! Anyways, she's like, yeah, I have that book for Josiah because when he was my student, I didn't know this, but he was having his own little struggle, and he had challenged God. He said to God, he was praying, and he said, you know, God, if you're real, and if you want me to accept Jesus as the Lord of my life, then I want you to make Mrs. Phillips wink at me today. And so he said in his prayer to God, he said, okay, God, I don't care at any point today. If she can wink at me, I'll know you're real. And I'm going to pursue a relationship with you. Not through my parents, not through my church, but my own relationship with you. So he said, she was teaching him, and he went up to her and he asked her a question. And she said, she was looking through his papers, and she said, yeah, and she winked at him. And then he didn't say anything to her, but he said that was the beginning of his own spiritual walk with Jesus. And he told her that at the graduation, he shared that story with her. And she said that, when she winked at him, she thought to herself, oh my God, why did I just wink at Josiah? What did I do that for? And, made her second guess, like, why'd she do that? But she didn't know. And then it was 2 months later that she shared with him that he shared with her that he had prayed that prayer for her to wink at him. And so it was so cool. And she said that that's when she picked up that book for him, and she's had it ever since. So she's had it a couple of years. So anyways, that was so cool that I had selected the exact same book for Brenly Boo to read, and how God linked and tied all that together. Like, that was so cool when God winks. So anyways, when I went to go bring that to Josiah, and I shared that with Paula was like, what? Like, she was like totally dumbfounded. It was so cool. I love when God does stuff like that. Anyways, that's when God winks. So look out for when God winks at you. Have a blessed day.